587 to guide you through this. What we're going to look at today, though, is 671. Okay, gents? Okay. Bear with me, gents. Sorry about this. So, gentlemen, can everyone see, or who cannot see, a service letter 2019-671? Perfect. So basically what it's saying is that due to the 0 to 0.5% sulfur fuels, then we had to make sure that we had some changes made for the vessels running on. In this case, up to 0.1, we needed to have the BN between 15 and 25, and anything up to 0.5, we will be running on the 40 to 70 BN. If we're running on anything higher, then of course we were going up into high sulfur fuel, so therefore we would be adjusting to the 100 BN. As we are here, you can see for the low sulfur fuels, we are trying to make sure that our piston cleanliness is controlled, and also the same as our corrosive wear. So we need to make sure that every opportunity is used to do drain oil analysis, and also scavenge port inspections, and also scavenge port inspections also. Here what we can see is that we have an indication of the sulfur content along the bottom of the fuel and what BN oil is to be used. If we are running here, we can see at 0.5, so low sulfur fuel or ultra low sulfur fuel, then here we can see something that says if we're running on this 40 to 70 BN, then we are up to the 300 running hours only. So we have a maximum amount of running hours using higher BN when we're running on the ultra low sulfur fuels, because we are supposed to be using the 15 to 25 BN. Okay, we are still using it as a recommendation. Of course, we know that it's not always possible to follow what we're saying, but this is what we are telling you that you should be doing for your engines. If you choose to do otherwise, then there's nothing we can do about it. So we will try and get you to try and advise you to follow this service letter as closely as possible. We need to do as many port inspections as possible, and this is the old school style. So we need to, at every point that we can, pop the lids, have a look inside, check the wear, port inspection, and port inspection. Please continue to do the oil analysis, so you are ensuring that the changes you make to the engine and the lubrication is specific and also adequate for your engine and the running conditions. Okay, so if we just follow it down to the graph here, so we can see that when we change over at this point here to very low sulfur fuel, we can see that we're at the 0.6, so the lowest point minimum feed rate that we're here for our engines, and then we can see that we're increasing the fuel. Then of course we need to adjust our feed rate, maybe if we're getting to this one here, so 0.68, if we get to this point here where we're above the 1 gram per kilowatt hour, then we need to ensure that we change over to a higher BN, and this is where it correlates with the graph that we saw here. Maybe change the fuel, or so it maybe then we have to change our BN as best we can. Okay. It also tells you that if you are running in or you have a new vessel, then you'll be using the 587 service letter for running in, and then of course you would disregard this until your running in period is complete. Then you would go to this point and start your lubrication sequence. When we are running on ultra low or very low sulfur fuel, the engines in service that have JBB or jacket cooling water or LDCL, these have to be set to off or disconnected or not used anymore. The newer vessels do not have the systems shown here, so therefore it is not relevant. However, if you do have this installation on your vessels, then you need to disconnect them, stop them from running, as they are not required on the ultra low or very low sulfur fuels. Okay. What we are looking for when we are going and doing our port inspections, so as we get through now to the appendices, when we're looking here, this is only a guidance, so please keep in mind that your vessel will be running as it is, and then you need to use that and your experience for how your engine specifically is, and also each individual unit. So we can see here that we're looking at a unit where we have a clean condition and there is no deposits on the ring or the, on the ringlands here, so that's all good. So no action required. We continue as normal. Next port inspection, we can see that we have a medium amount of deposits, so we're getting some sort of build-up here. Some sort of build-up here on the ringland, and therefore we need to monitor the condition. So we would be increasing our feed rate by 0.2, and if the feed rate is already at 1 gram per kilowatt hour or above, then we need to change to a higher BN. So if we cast our mind back to the graph we saw before, okay. And also, again, if we are doing our point inspection and we see now that we get a build-up here, a nice bit of dirty build-up on the ringland here, and also on the second ringland here, then we need to again increase by 0.2 grams per kilowatt hour, and then of course if we were still over the 1 gram per kilowatt hour, then we need to consider changing to a higher BN. Okay. When we are increasing the feed rate by 0.2 at a time, then we need to monitor